Good evening and greetings to each and all, those who regularly follow this channel, and anyone who might have come upon it by chance. Title of this channel, Mandela Effect Decoded, refers back to its original intention, which was established in February of last year, 2017. At that time, I undertook what I called the Gnostic investigation of the Mandela effect. And I completed that investigation in October of 2017. In my opinion, the phenomenon, the bizarre and baffling enigma known as the Mandela effect, has run its course. I don't consider that there are currently any valid cases of Mandela effects comparable to those that I examined closely in the course of that investigation. In my view, I could be wrong, the interest in the Mandela effect phenomenon has pretty much leveled out and flatlined. And I'm not surprised. I indicated at the close of the investigation that there would be a shift in October, and indeed that shift came about exactly at the time of the so-called Las Vegas mass shooting. I showed how the Las Vegas mass shooting was an event that presented the example, or better said, the demonstration of how the Mandela effect shifted gears. So I assign to that phenomenon its proper term, what I consider to be its proper term, its proper name, which is the correction effect. So in October of 2017, the correction effect shifted into another gear. And I've illustrated in subsequent talks from that date forward how the same agency that produced the Mandela effect at that time proceeded to operate in a different way and to show its intentions to the world in a different manner. So there you have it. What it all means in a nutshell is that the channel Mandela Effect Decoded has more or less lived out its purpose. Since October of last year, I've posted a fair amount of material due to the fact that the conclusion of the Mandela Effect led directly into the Charlotte working. So you'll find that material also on this channel. You know, I don't know who comes to this channel. I have to say I'm a bit suspicious about the status of this channel. Now, I must admit that it could all be my fault. You know, on any given day, I pretty much assume that everything in the universe is my fault. What do I mean by that? Well, I haven't added tags and I haven't, done the usual footwork that allows a YouTube channel to thrive at its optimum potential. I haven't put in the tags because it's just tedious, time-consuming work and life's too short. I have done no SEO optimization. Is that what it's called? Done nothing to bring attention to this site. Nevertheless, I am a bit suspicious about the stagnation of this channel. The Mandela effect in its prime, not anymore, as I just explained. But hey, folks, friends, allies, whoever you may be, let's admit that in its prime, Mandela effect was getting a tremendous amount of attention. and discussion and debate. It was peaking high on the chart of Google Trends, and some sites dedicated to the Mandela effect were getting, millions of hits. I mean, it was more than viral. There were some sites, some clips and uploads on the Mandela effect got massive views. I did not get massive views for Mandela Effect Decoded except for one instance in October when I posted a clip about the fraud of the AI robot Sophia coming from Hanson Robotics. I don't know why I got 25,000 views on that upload. If you look at the views on Mandela Effect Decoded, you'll see that they level off, they top off generally. Anywhere between 1,500 and 3,500. The channel is stagnant. And I find it rather remarkable that the only channel on YouTube which purports to present a complete breakdown and analysis of the message coming through the Mandela effect would receive such little attention. Well, now that the effect is fading out, I suspect that it will receive less and less attention. Nevertheless, I'm satisfied with the work that I did on this channel, and I'm using it now to reach you in a kind of interim measure, in a kind of transition. September 18th is the date set for the launch of Nematta, the Sophianic School of Arts and Sciences. This current upload links you not to Nematta, but to metahistory.org, from which a good part of the material in Nematta has been drawn. I won't be posting on metahistory.org very much in the future. In fact, the essay that you see linked in the description, Gnosis of the Living Dream, is likely to be one of the last 8 or 10 pieces that I write originally for metahistory.org. It remains as a classic site and an archive site, but I won't be adding new material to it, obviously, because I'm devoting my full attention to Nematta. But I wanted to put this up right now, today, this evening, as I sit here basking in the pearly light of the full moon in the Manitou. That would be the Matangi moon of August 2018. And I just want to make one point in this short article, Gnosis of the Living Dream. I just want to restate something I've often said, and to make it as clear as possible to those of you who already follow my work or who might consider it and might consider getting on board with Nematta, to make it as clear as possible what you're up against. I call it the agon. It's a Greek term. And agon, of course, related to agony, it actually means the contest. There's a contest happening. And there are many, many aspects to this contest which is unfolding in the theater of human events on Earth. But what I summarize here is what I consider to be the core and essence of that agon, that contest. And I won't elaborate on it because the words I've written speak for themselves. And I think the point is fairly self-evident. If you care to take the time to read what I've written, linked in the description, well, there it is. What I shall do in the conclusion of this upload is allude to a couple of pieces of poetry. Now, I do that with great reticence, I want to tell you. I don't particularly like hearing people read their poetry, and I rarely read mine to anyone. I do not like to presume poetically upon the attention of other people. That's true, you should know that. Not should. You ought to know that. That's really how it is with me. But there are a couple of poems cited in this particular upload, and I deemed that I would overcome my reticence in this case, you see. Why? Well, these two poems reach to the heart of the Agon, and so there you have it. One of them is just a short excerpt from Sloka 4, from translations from the Andromedan. That is called Prodigal Heart, by which I mean any and every heart that genuinely seeks the truth about the human condition. So live to withhold us nothing, that we may divine all that we are, realized in who you are, who suffered death to play its haunting pauses in youth, surrendered one vagabond child lost under ochre skies, abandoned with humanity like acid in your eyes. You braved a cruel new world where angels sweeten fire in the heart. You, homeless, led us home. And no, will never be another you who suffered to come back alive. And finding on your own what's ours, found what it takes in that long dive, withholding nothing, to behold the unreal with real eyes. Now that's as simple as it gets, I would guess. Just think of the looks, the looking in the eyes of all the human animals that play through a fractal maze. All those looks in human eyes come from one look and return to it over and over and over again. So that's a little sample from the translations. And in concluding, I thought it fit, I deemed it appropriate, oh yes indeed I did, sitting here all by my lonesome under the Matangi moon, to return to a poem from the conversions, what I call the Yeats conversions. So this short upload concludes with that poem and any explanatory remarks that I might be inclined to provide on it will be found right there in the material linked on metahistory.org. Amber and Jade. I never heard that careless woman say that she was sick of me and all my wiles, for cruel wretches are so often gay, or play it like, the cheat behind their smiles. Now something drastic must occur, since I have really gotten over her, to finally undo the gender war that let that vixen wound me to the core. We all perform erotic mimes There is Brando. There is Kim. These marionettes of mode and meme, actors all, who learn their lines, rehearse what they will do on screen, and sometimes feel the act is true. Yet when they hear someone yell, "Cut!" do not pretend what it is not. Desire belies all that pretending. What you have wanted and not had, what you have had and lost, lending such pathos to your current role, all this might be play acting, and you would never know unless your true desire you do confess, a challenge most exacting. This is the sly animal that goes astray from one film set onto the next, where every tangoed mix-up will display vicissitudes of craving, multi-sexed. But no amount of posturing makes real a mere rehearsal, a way to act as if until the real thing comes along. But what that is, no one can tell unless desire shows the way, and if it does, it might reverse the plot, turn love to hate or vice to virtue, converting wildly as it may. This cameo a satyr shows, flanked by two nymphs. Irony embeds the stringent look, jade flecked with amber like the beads he broke and scattered to the earth in honor of her final worth. Any disclosure of a heart betrayed will penetrate the cracked facade of mere pretending, and then parlay the ache into the coming masquerade. Cyclidian wine cannot be faked. A true elixir, love, blended with pleasure. But any posture of the human kind can and will be until the measure of compassion is found, lest it seem prevarication be total and supreme. The cameo has two nymphs, life-sized. The jaded gaze is azure-ringed and almost sly. Under the forehead that a goddess prized, the ageless, glittering eyes are studied, shy.